You are about to see a recording from our 2025 AGM where Estelle Marshall is going to go through a set of exercises for about 20 minutes. We all have a cloth strap which Estelle made and gave to people at the AGM. If you wish to make one yourself, you'll need a piece of cloth that is some 140-150 centimeters long, which is 4.5-5 feet long in old money, and something that is about 20 centimeters or 8 inches wide. And Estelle folded it up twice, so we have 4 layers together in like that. So you end up with a piece of cloth that is something like about 5 or 6 centimeters wide and 140-150 centimeters long, and it's made of fairly strong cloth because you're going to be using it to exercise your legs. So you shall need one of these if you're going to follow what Estelle says completely. Thank you very much. And so first off, I'm going to hand over to Estelle, who's going to use her physiotherapy expertise. She's going to introduce herself. Over to you, Estelle.
So I'm Estelle, and I'm one of the trustees. One of the reasons I wanted to become a trustee for the support group and give back was because when I got diagnosed with HSP, I found it quite challenging, especially emotionally, and in the impact on every area of my life. And the HSP support group has really helped with coming to terms with it. So now I want to be able to help support other people. Okay. We're going to be doing some exercises. They said I'm a retired physiotherapist. I officially retired last year because as a physiotherapist with HSP, there's challenges. It's not the easiest career, and also with elements such as fatigue. I want to talk a little bit before we start doing the exercise about fatigue, because fatigue impacts most of us, and it can put a barrier between you and doing exercise. I think of fatigue like a huge giant monster. And the monster is stronger and bigger than me. And I'm not going to fight it. Okay? So when you feel fatigue starting to come on, rest. Actually, don't try to fight fatigue. And then do more the other times when when you have rested a bit, and building the exercise up that way, rather than trying to do lots and lots and then flooring yourself and having a few days where you can't do anything. So all the way through with this, I want you actually taking notice of your body and what your fatigue levels are like. Because if an exercise is increasing your fatigue and you know that it's going to trigger you today, stop, rest. Because actually, it's about listening to your own body. That's what you get the most from. Learning to listen to your body and doing exercise that's right for you and at the right level for you. Okay? So everybody should have a strap. Now, this is not some sort of... they will become clear what they're for. But keep that to the side for the moment. We're going to just start with doing a march. So getting your arms swinging. If you've got enough room, trying to get that heart pumping. Because after we've had lunch and a bit of a sit down and, chat, get going. Yeah. And then we started with doing an ankle circle. Now this is not something that's that easy for most of us, and changing direction is something that's quite difficult, but it's initiating their movements. Okay? Trying to get it as smooth as you can. changing legs and going the other way. If you're only getting a flicker of a movement, that's fine. It's what your body can do. Going around and then going the other direction. That's brilliant. Because we're definitely not aiming for perfect. We still have, well, most of us in this room have HSP. There's some of us, some people here who haven't, who got off quite lightly. Now, we are using these straps. And the idea with these straps, and they are gifts, you can take your strap home, and it'll always remind you to do your calf stretches. Okay, so you're hooking it underneath the front of your foot, like that. And you're using your arms to just give a pull until you feel a bit of a stretch in the back of your calf. Now, for a lot of people, stretching is quite uncomfortable, but it is more important for us with HSP because with the spasticity, our muscles get shorter and you can lose the range of movement, and that has huge impacts. So doing it with the leg straight and then doing it with the leg down and the leg bent. Really pulling it back. Okay. We're going to, before swapping legs, we're going to do the hamstring stretch. So shuffle forwards on your chair if you can. You're keeping your strap in position and you're getting the leg straight with the heel down. And you're just leaning forwards from your hip. So you're keeping your back straight and you're leaning forwards from your hip. You can place your other hand on your knee if you want. And you should feel it right the way down that leg. Now you're not pulling so much on the strap with this one. You're just using it for a little bit of support to reach forwards. Okay? And you can really feel that pull right the way down the leg. And it's not comfortable. And actually, none of us said it was going to be comfortable. The stretching is, important. But unfortunately, with spasticity, it can be quite painful, stretching. It's a different sensation to how stretching feels for people that haven't got spasticity. You watch these videos and that exercise, and somebody says, oh, you don't stretch into any pain, but you're like, as soon as I start stretching, it hurts and it's painful. And it's like, well, actually, they're talking about a body that hasn't got spasticity. They're not, it feels very different. It feels like this hard, painful block that you can't really do much. So just ignore when they say don't go into pain.
To a degree, Priscilla.
To a degree, yes. Yeah, don't actually physically damage yourself. But actually, a lot of the time your spasticity is so strong that no matter how much you pull against it, you're not going to actually pull that muscle too hard because the spasticity is stronger than your arms. So swapping legs now. So with the legs straight and pulling back down. That's it. And then with your leg bent. And holding a stretch for a while. There's different theories about how long you should hold a stretch. A lot of people say at least 30 seconds. Now, you can get benefit from prolonged holds, but for some people they find doing shorter holds can help. Right, so with the knee bent a little bit, and then doing the hamstring is the next one. So with your heel down, and you're bending your knee, and you're leaning forwards from the hip, and you should feel it right the way down, because your hamstring runs from your hip to just past your knee. So So there, that's where your hamstring is. Along there. Okay. So then, we're popping that down for the moment, but we are going to use again because we're going to finish with calf stretches as well, because actually one of the problems with HSP at the very beginning tends to be that it impacts the calf muscle. So your calf muscle becomes really tight. So that's one of the key areas. So we're starting and we're finishing with calf stretches. The next one we're doing is a forward fold. So reaching for up and down and reaching down. Now nobody is allowed to fall off the chair. Right? And then reaching up and down. So you're just getting that back moving. Right? That's it. And now we're doing the palm tree. So you have to imagine that you've gone on holiday somewhere nice. So you're reaching up, and you're really reaching up as far as you can. Then clasping, so you're making it like a palm tree, and you're doing a side bend. And you should feel it in the side of your body, and then to the other side. And you're really getting a nice stretch. So we're just going to do a few back and forth. And the next one I can't remember. Oh, doing pelvic tilting. So with pelvic tilting, I'm going to actually move to go side on so you can see the pelvic tilting, because it's very hard to actually see that. So you're bending. It's the movement's really coming from right at the very bottom of your back. And you're slouching, so it's not the top part of your back that's moving, it's right near the bottom. And unfortunately, when we're sat in a wheelchair or we're sat a lot, our backs get quite stiff. Even for people that haven't got HSP. But for some of us, back gets really, really stiff. Okay? And then, we're doing, I know what we're doing next. So we're doing cactus arms. And so this is where you've got to try not to hit your neighbour. Okay? So we're just doing a few, getting those legs, opening the legs out as far as you can. If you can't, that's fine. We're just getting those arms and legs moving, getting a bit of circulation going. And always do it at your level. Okay? And now we're doing a rotation. So, yeah.
How many is that?
It's everybody's different. So do it at the level that's right for you. Okay, so when you're doing it at home, you know, there's lots of things on YouTube, lots of different exercises. And like with the NHS, and I'm not over 60, but if you put into YouTube exercises for over 60, they're more appropriate. Okay? And they might be doing quite a few repetitions, and that might be too much for you. Just rest them. Always listen to your body. So there isn't ever a magic number. So the next. Can
I just say, Estelle, Joe Wicks does a really good chair video.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 5 minutes a day, and there's 10 exercises on YouTube. So Joe Wicks.
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing is, the more we exercise, actually, with the spasticity, our muscles become shorter and tighter. And exercise is absolutely vital and so important. It really is, and I love exercise, and I want people to find exercise that they enjoy and actually embrace exercise. And it's not a chore, it's not something that we have to do, it's something that we do for enjoyment as well. It's something that we get benefit from, but it's about enjoying it. Put your favourite music on.
I could definitely, totally agree with that, because I, as I say, looking into our health retirement, but my brother-in-law said to me, but you go swimming, you go water skiing, you go to the gym. And I said, yes, but that is the bit that I need to keep me going.
Yeah.
Mentally more than, physically. But as you
Well,
say,
it's both.
it is both, but as I say,
Yeah.
if you're going to just sit around, you're going to do more harm than good mentally and physically.
Yes. Yeah. So exercise is very much the key to it. So the next one, legs forwards, and if you can, crossing your legs. You've got one hand, so the opposite hand across, so you're reaching round and you're doing a twist. So you're twisting, rotating your body, and you should get a twist in your middle. Don't worry about doing your legs. If you can't do your legs, just do the top. It's fine. Everybody's different on what they can achieve. I can go quite far, and that's partly all the yoga.
Yeah, I do yoga.
It's good, isn't it? I like yoga because you zone out. So it actually helps you relax. So you're physically stretching and relaxing at the same time. So, yeah. And there's lots of seated yoga classes, both online and in person. And I think, if nothing else, I like in-person classes. As online's fine, it's great, but in-person classes, you have a chat with the other people, it's a social element. So,
A bit like AGM.
yes, exactly, Rob. Oh, the next one we're going to do is sit to stand. Or, for those who can't do sit to stand, doing the marching again. Okay? But for those who can, trying to do a sit to stand. So when you sit into standing, shuffle forwards in your chair, get your feet into a good position. You can use your hands and reach forwards. And for the others, keep marching if you can. And if your body says it's fine, if you're tired, out. Okay. So I attend the Otago exercise class at my gym, and it's a falls prevention one. And that's one of the exercises we do is sit to stand, stepping backwards, doing a figure of 8. There's all sorts, side stepping. It's a really good class, and it's just worth having a look at things like that because falls are a real issue. I'm getting waylaid, aren't I? Oh, the next ones. So we're going to do a little bit with hands. So this is the lotus flower. Okay, so hands together, and then you're keeping your little finger and your thumb together, and you're opening your fingers as much as you can, and you're just making a beautiful lotus flower. Keep your little finger together, that's it, and your thumb, and really so you're getting that stretch in your hand. Okay, and then we're going to do wrists circling, and then hands like that, and on the side, and we're just rocking them backwards and forwards and stretching out that wrists, and then going the other way, stretching the wrists out. Okay, and now we're going to finish as we started with calf stretches, because they're my favourite. Well, they're not actually, I blooming hate calf stretches, but shouldn't admit that. But I can feel the difference. So giving a really good stretch and giving it a good pull. You can also, when you're doing a calf stretch, you can try to join in with that muscle, so trying to bring your ankle back. So activate what we call your ankle dorsiflexors. And that sometimes gets an even more stretch. But sometimes those muscles don't activate. Okay? And then we're just going to do the other side, and then we're done. And then you can relax. That's good, isn't it? If you take nothing else away from this, take that exercise can actually be fun, and embrace it, and find something that you enjoy, and there's something that's right for you, because what's right for somebody else isn't necessarily what's going to be right for you. Okay? And that's it.
Oh, thank